We have got an ENL AK on the outside with an LCT inside. It has got a hybrid, a clicker. It has had apparently a piston, 13:1 gears, high torque motor, like a slim one or something, because they've changed this, a hop unit, and a 602 barrel. Sure, it's upgraded. He got this from the forums, and apparently as soon as he got it, there were problems, and the guy was like, worked when I had it, mate. So yeah, one of them. He took it to an Airsoft shop tech, and they changed the piston apparently, and it worked for a mag apparently, or like a couple of games or something like that. Not a long time, and then it just straight up stopped, and that's it. So I'm going to do a service to it. I'm going to do my things. I'm going to make sure the settings are right, blah, blah, blah. But first, oh, go on. Choose a 7.4. We have a beep. 3 around burst. I'm going to continue with giving this a service. So, can confirm that is an LCT gearbox. I don't know what happened to this motor. It seems to be used. Seems cosmetic, so it's fine. Everything was firing and working, so we're just going to give this bit of service. Some other things to note. We got rear wood furniture on the front. I will more than likely give this a quick sand and then I will ask him if he wants it sanding down and refinishing, because I just like to do that. The latch, which you can see I've took out, was just kind of sat free floating. So the customer did mention that every time he folds his stock, it don't quite click in, and he thinks it's bent or something. No. So from what I can see, here's the mech here. So it's got a lovely little spring there, and it's just, I think a piece might have come off, but that's just sat there like that, so it just wiggles out the way and doesn't stay straight. So it's going to be off kilter. I'm going to see if I can do something about that. The barrel looks to be, based on this writing, XT, because I can see precision there. I'll take that out, give that a clean as well. It basically just feels like it needs a clean up. There's absolutely no movement in those shit. Oh. No? No. Tiny bit of movement on the sector, which is absolutely fine. Absolutely fuck all movement on the bevel. And I think there's like the tiniest bit of movement on the spur, which a bit of movement is absolutely fine. Fuck all movement is always a concern for me, because that sometimes, whether they know it or not, means that they've over-shimmed it. Anyway, let's crack it open and do my stuff to it. So like I said, everything seems to be there, you know what I mean? Like, everything to make it good is in there. I redid the MOSFET settings as standard from the looks of things. All they did was change they changed 2 things. They changed the fully auto to 3 round burst, but they've kept it AK style. So they've kept it safe burst semi. Absolutely fine with me. And they put the trigger sensitivity all the way up. Yeah. Right, let's see what's inside this bad boy. Probably going to be a bit of a dick, so let's just... Ah, well, that didn't help at all. Where is the grease? Where is the grease? Okay. Air seal there. It's not on the nozzle. There's a bit of damage there, which is what that probably is. There's like a tiny bit of grease. I don't know whether that's transfer. SHS 13-1s. Nice big LCT lettering on that anti-reversal latch. Glad they're proud of it. It's already like a big stack of shims. Okay, so there is grease present, just specifically on the gears. Sure. There's a nice big stack of shims on this one. So I thought this was over shimmed. So that should be all of them. There is a bit of movement. There is a bit of movement on that. Right, so that is that sorted. It did seem to be a little bit over shimmed, so I have remedied that. We are swapping out the nozzle for a lovely XT short AK O-ring one because yeah. Just because when that's a little bit extended, that does lose a bit of air seal. And for the sake of a fiver, yeah, get it in there. Right, I'm going to pop this together. I'm going to give that a clean up so we don't get any of these bits in the gearbox. Yeah. Ooh-wee. I was trying to get that fucker out for a while and then I realised you have to use a persuader. Ugh. Anyway, so he was unsure whether a maple leaf was in this. He got told there was and can confirm that is a maple leaf 60 and nub. It is fucking on there though. That is dry as a bone. So let's give fucking come on. Let's give that a clean and a re-lube. And then I think I'll probably swap that out because it just doesn't mesh up well. Yeah, fucking hell. Whee! I have made that as stiff as I can. So we'll see how that holds. So I'm going to test this with absolutely no hop on, with 2/8 on a 7.4 and see what we're chronoing at. And then we'll see, once it's tested, what it shoots that with 2/8. I changed the piston out because I did a boo-boo. I did that a bit too short. So if you can see right there, it was skipping across because it was just a little bit too much, unfortunately, which is a shame. So he's just got another steel rack in there. And I might see if I can just get replacement racks. Yeah, that was definitely an oopsie on my part. Oh well. Otherwise, I put the original pin back in there. And I've got an O-ring under there as well as the washer and all that kind of stuff. Did the usual bend the front bit. And that is nice and solid. So, once testing is complete, I will then move to see if I can get this stock button to be nice and solid. But first, chrono. 285, but that did spike at 300. Again, that's on absolutely no hop. 1.06 joule, 285.7. 338 with no hop, with 300 being 355, which obviously is a no, but obviously that's 0 hop. He's not going to use 0 hop. I will now test that to see if it's shooting straight, get the hop shooting straight, retest the chrono, and then yeah. But that is good power. Also, what I have done is I have changed this knob because it is, let's see if I can get this right there. Can we see? There we go. Big chunk out of the side somehow, and that was making it swerve. I have added washers at the back of there, keeps it nice and stiff. I have also polished this bit off just that little bit. So then that slides on nicer and slides off nicer, just to make any teardown bit quicker and nicer. What else did I do? Oh yeah, just give that a little sand down, little tss of T-coil, bit on the outside as well. Yeah, let's put it together. There we are, back together again. Very good. Very, very good. Can confirm it fits. Yeah. Boy. See, I was looking at that wire and the wires are fine, but any excuse to remind people But also, just in case that does sit over there, it's got that little bit of layer of protection to stop the wires from wanting to go into the gearbox. The so-called cursed AK, as so-called it was, is done. So we have sorted out a new battery as well. Converted to Dean's from that long ass thing, because that much of extra cable just made it so it didn't fit. But now it fits nicely. On request of the customer, I will be using this battery that we intend to be using for this gun and blasting out a good few mags just to make sure that it doesn't go dead. I believe it won't. I think it was just the matter of the small milliamps tend to just only use about 20-30% on builds like this, and then the MOSFET or something will just say not enough voltage and just cut out dead, which, yay, that's nice, isn't it? But this one should be absolutely fine. But I will do that just to alleviate any concerns he has with it happening again. That's the main thing he doesn't want happening. His gun just going dead mid-game, and then he's like, ugh. So yeah. A couple of the other settings needed to be swapped, just because they were a bit too high, they're on too much. I put a bit of creep. I put a bit of... Fucking hell. I put a bit of pre-cocking on both settings, just because... A little bit snappier. Clicky, clicky. Moved that nub away for another XT Omega nub, just because that had a slice out of it. Swapped the metal hop out for a polymer, now that we have an alloy nozzle, just because we want to maintain not using metal on metal. Poly on poly is fine, poly on metal, yeah. Something's got to give, basically. And metal on metal tends to scratch up something fierce, and we don't want that. But yep. So, bar the final bits of just spamming a load of BBs out of it, nice and done. He's happy, I'm happy. Always happy when we get things sorted. Yeah.